Hi, my name is Larsen Thompson. I play Elise in the new film Tarot, coming out in theaters May 3rd, and you're listening to Pop Culture with Pat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Trick or treat!
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So I am so excited to be joined by today's guests. Today we are talking all things the new horror film Tarot with Larsen Thompson. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Larsen.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
You are very welcome. And yeah, the film's like officially hitting theaters. Friday is always like the big day, but like comes out on Thursday night, so it's like hitting theaters
Right?
tonight. That's usually
I know.
I try
Yeah,
to
I'm
go.
like, yeah, I know. I'm like waiting. I'm like, we've all been gearing up for May 3rd, and then I'm like, nope, guys, it came a little bit early. You can come see it today.
Exactly. And yeah, to start things off, Larson, just as far as, can you tell us a little bit about the character that you play and just, what attracted you to the role and to the project, overall?
Yeah, so my character Elise is, a very lovable character. She's free-spirited. She really is the life of the party. And, she really takes advantage in this film to make the most of her birthday weekend. She decides to dismiss the unspoken rule of using someone else's tarot deck.
Naturally.
Um, and it leads us face to face with fate, all of us, and on a race against death. And, sorry to say it, it's a little bit my fault, but it's okay.
Someone's
But
got to do it.
someone had to do it. I'm like, even if I put us through danger, I am going to make the most of the time that I have with my best friends. And, just everything from working with such an incredible cast. It's like our chemistry and everything really came so organically. I remember even just from the table read, us all just like hitting it off from the start. And for me, this script, reading it through the first time, it drew me in. It keeps you with this feeling of suspense throughout the entire film. And our directors, Anna Halberg and Spenser Cohen, truly their passion and their dedication for this project was really the driving force into the making of this, while having such clear direction, but giving us the freedom as actors to play in this world that they've created for us. So I'm just grateful to be a part of it. I'm so happy it's here. And yeah, it's been an awesome journey.
And Larson, this isn't your first time, your first rodeo in the horror genre. So what is it about the genre that keeps you coming back for more?
Yeah, horror tends to come towards me, I guess. But I'm so grateful for that. I have, a deep appreciation for this genre. I find it to be, the most challenging as an actor. As a person myself, I crave vulnerability, I crave authenticity. And for me, the genre of horror gives me this challenge of really putting myself into the most unrealistic circumstances and building out these characters and bringing that to life. And it's exhilarating for me to even be in the film because I am also the biggest scaredy cat while also being the biggest horror buff. So I get scared even filming these projects, which is the best part about it all. But yeah, no, I think, the horror does an incredible, it does a great job of giving a meaning at the end of the film or during the film and leaving you with something to chew on coming out of the theater in a hidden way that's very beautiful, and that's really why I love horror.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. There's so many elements, so many different subgenres that you can kind of go into with horror. I love how, you're able to kind of blend that. Um,
Yeah.
Going into this now, were you familiar at all with the world of like tarot cards and different things like that? Or is that something that once you got cast in the film, did you kind of jump more into that world to learn more about it?
My character Elise, she doesn't know a thing about tarot, which is why we end up in the situation that we do. So that world I am far removed from, even personally. But for me, it's focused, the mix of tarot and astrology for me and in my character building of Elise, it was, focusing on her astrology sign, which was a Libra, and pulling those
Oh,
different
nice. Same here.
attributes. No way. Look at
Yep.
that. Elise Besties now, besties.
Well, so I know what's going to happen now. If I come across a tarot card, I'm going to unleash a bunch of spirits. So we know that's going to happen.
Do not go near them. But no, but for me, that was really what helped in my preparation for Elise, and the friendliness, and the extroverted personalities of a Libra, and kind of pulling those in, and just having fun with it, bringing my own spunk to the character as well, because me as a person, I'm a lot like her in many ways, where I love to have fun. I'm very extroverted. I'm always down to throw a party, but definitely not open up a tarot deck. That's
Yeah, I was
not
going to say unleash
not
a
my
bunch
thing.
of bunch of
Yeah,
creatures. So,
exactly.
we see like in the trailers and stuff like that, we see that these group of friends, they come across a number of these different, creatures throughout the film that have really cool designs. Do you have a favorite from the film overall?
Wow. Oh, that's so good. You know,
You can name a couple if you
I
want to too.
no,
Not
yeah,
to,
totally. I'm very biased, obviously, to the high priestess who I worked with, and for me, it's really, this is what I think separates our horror film from most. Is, you're right, the amount of creatures that there are, whereas the audience member, you're like, what's coming next? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
what is about to go down here? And so the high priestess, obviously, I loved just working with her, and she terrified the absolute hell out of me, even in filming. So, but also the magician. The magician for me was very detailed and intricate, and the design was just unbelievable. But as an actor, it was just really crazy to be like walking around set with these guys. You know what I mean? Like, they're full prosthetic out, they're costumed up, and they're just like eating lunch. So for me, the one thing that kind of separated me from the world was, I was like, oh, yes, this is make believe, Larsen. Like, look, see, they're enjoying chocolate cake just as I'm enjoying chocolate cake. We are just people. But yeah, no, I think they did such an incredible job in the making of these creatures, and they're so realistic. I mean, they are realistic. It's quite terrifying.
That was something that I was going to ask you because I had heard it was like another interview, I believe, that a lot of, if not all of the creatures were like a lot of practical effects, which I love
Yeah,
as a horror fan.
yeah.
So that must have been really nice for you as an actor to be able to have something actually there, like an actual creature to be able to react to. So I was going to ask you just to kind of speak on what was it like having something actually there to go off of.
Yeah, to build out that world, I think, is extremely beneficial to an actor, and to really live in it, and explore it, and have that environment was really, really helpful for us. And to have these creatures that we were able to act with was a gift. You know what I mean? There were some moments where I'm staring at the red X, but it's okay. You make it work. But at least then I was able to have the picture in my head of who I'm reacting to, which sometimes you don't get that chance to have. So that for me was what separated this film than ones I've worked on, was having that to play with and work with. So thanks to Anna and Spenser and all their hard work.
And you had mentioned it sounds like there were some moments where you actually were scared, a couple times, like working on the set, which makes sense.
Yes.
Like if you have these creatures and maybe if you're not paying
Yeah.
attention, you come around a corner or something and you see them.
Absolutely. Well, the other night we had our screening, and we're like posing on the carpet, doing our thing. And I think they knew that I'd be the one that would fall for it, because sure enough, from the behind on our billboards, the high priestess comes out and screams, and I lost it. I grabbed Avantika thinking that she would run with me. No, she stayed like pose and beautiful. And I was like, oh my God. And everyone was like, did you know? I was like, I had zero clue. Like, I get freaked out. I don't do jump scares. So, like, even knowing everything that's going to happen in this film, watching it in the theaters, I'm just as freaked out. Like, I'm jumping from my seat. I'm on the edge. I'm like, oh my goodness, I know what's going to happen here. But, like, oh God, you had to do me like that. So I feel like I'm just seeing it for the first time every time I watch it, which is very cool.
That's what makes horror films a lot of fun too, seeing it in the theaters with a
Yes,
big crowd and getting the reactions from, from other people. That's like the best experience, I think, for sure.
absolutely. And I think this is one of those films that, you know, obviously watch it wherever you would love if you're with your family on your couch. But, for young moviegoers, this really is like it's a fun horror experience that's so thrilling and so suspenseful, and it's like it's a roller coaster of emotions. You're just like going through it, and to be in that theater with the audience and hear those screams or the and them getting just as scared, it builds the tension in the room, which I think is, that's what the theater does. So I'm biased to the theater. I'm like, you gotta go do it right.
Yeah, I'm always for the theatrical experience as well, so I'm right
Yes,
there with you. Now to
yes.
kind of to wrap things up for you, as far as who would you say from the cast would be most likely to unleash a group of spirits or whatever, unknowingly, I should say, not on purpose, but unknowingly, like playing a game or something.
Oh my gosh. Probably Jacob.
Jake.
I feel like Jacob is just like a total goofy guy, and I think that he's so funny and like doesn't even try to be. Like, the amount of times I would just be like crying laughing on set just because he would say something just out of nowhere. I just feel like he would be kind of the guy to like be cracking a joke and at the same time just like unleash something terrible over all of us. So yeah, poor Jacob, but we love him.
And is there anything else you'd just like to say to fans, getting ready to go see the film
Yeah.
this weekend and just working on it overall?
Yes, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to work amongst such a talented cast and directors and the whole crew and everyone. I can tell you that we put 150% in. So I really hope that you enjoy it. Buckle up, get ready to be terrified and
That's what you did there.
enjoy it. Bring your friends, and I hope you guys go see it today, May 3rd, or wherever, whenever. Just go see it.
Make sure you guys go check out Tarot this weekend. It hits theaters. Larson, it was so much fun talking to you about the film, talking to a fellow horror fan as well. It was great to meet you, and you're welcome back anytime in the future.
Woohoo! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hi, my name is Larsen Thompson. I play Elise in the new film Tarot, coming out in theaters May 3rd, and you're listening to Pop Culture with Pat.